See that? Got sideways.
What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 Chevy Colorado Trail Boss. Huge thank you to Bakary Darbo over here at Koons, Tysons, Chevy GMC for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Colorado or any GM product with the exceptions of Cadillac and Buick, then I'll be sure to have Bakary's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It was a beautiful winter day outside here today, but now that the sun's going down, it's getting a little bit chilly and breezy, so I apologize in advance if there is any wind noise in today's video. But just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2025 Chevy Colorado Trail Boss, and this particular one's been painted in the $495 Radiant Red tint coat. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2025, the Turbo Max engine is now standard across the board. A few colors come, a few colors go, and you now get more standard features. But this particular one, being the Trail Boss, as standard, you get halogen headlights with IntelliBeam, as well as standard running lights and standard turn signals. Now, taking a few steps to the left, here's a front-on shot of the Trail Boss. You can see you get the satin black front fascia from the grille all the way to the bottom of your front bumper. At the center of the grille, you have your black bow tie emblem, and beneath that, this particular one's been optioned with the $950 technology package, which gives you that forward-facing camera that works with your 360-degree view camera system. Now, one thing to note about the technology package is that it does require either the Convenience Package 1 or the Convenience Package 2. This one just so happens to be optioned with the Trail Boss Convenience Package 2. And then offset to the right, you have your Trail Boss badging. Now, when you come down just a little bit, you can see you get that gray front valance, and beneath that, you get those two black painted frame-mounted recovery hooks. Now, this one being the Trail Boss, you get a factory 2-inch lift and a 3-inch widened stance. By the way, you get a total ground clearance of 9.5 inches, so super capable here with the Trail Boss in the name, obviously. Coming on down the side, you get those satin black wheel arch moldings, and then these are the standard wheels with the Trail Boss, and they are 18-inch dark argent metallic wheels that are wrapped in two 65/65 Goodyear Wrangler Territory all-terrain tires, also known as a 32-inch tall tire. If you're not a fan of the way that these wheels look, there are a few other options. I'm gonna take a step back, give you a front-on shot of this thing. The Radiant Red looks absolutely beautiful when it is cleaned up. However, the car wash at the dealership is broken for right now, so not totally clean, but still looks good nonetheless. So you can see you get that gray front fascia down there. You also get the gray mirror caps, and as standard, these side view mirrors are manual folding, and you will find your blind spot monitoring on the upper left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. Again, this one's also been optioned with the technology package, so you get the cameras at the bottom of both of your side view mirrors, and those cameras, again, work with your 360-degree view camera system. Taking a few steps back, look at that Radiant Red. I love how it's bright red over in the sun, dark red over in the shade. It looks just absolutely fantastic. You can see you get the satin black window trim. You also get the satin black door handles. Then you get the chrome Colorado lettering on both of your front doors. Working my way to the bedside, clicking on this reveals your capless filler neck, and 87 octane will do you just fine with the Turbo Max. Now, for 2025, I wanted to mention that you now, as standard, get the rear window defroster as well as the manual sliding rear window, whereas this would have been an option package for the 2024 model year. You also get your halogen cargo lights up top there, as well as your satin black antenna. I love the angles here on the bedside. You can see angle, body line. It just looks fantastic. I mean, she is thick. I love the wide body here that you get with the Trail Boss, the ZR2, and a couple other models. I know the Z71, the LT, and maybe the work truck, I believe those do not get the wide body, but I'm pretty sure everything else does. You also get the Trail Boss lettering on your bedsides. This does have a leaf spring, a leaf spring suspension here in the rear, and also halogen taillights come standard. This is what the rear end looks like. You can see the Chevrolet lettering stamped into the tailgate, Colorado badging on the lower left-hand side of the tailgate in chrome. Then you got your backup camera. You do get a slow release tailgate with the tailgate storage and 48 inches, so you can measure a fish if you do go fishing out in the wilderness. Pop this open. This is not watertight, so just keep that in mind if you are setting stuff in here. But yeah, you do get a little bit of tailgate storage down there. And you also kind of want to push on that tailgate storage area while you are locking that back into place. 2 tie downs in each corner, 2, 4, 6, 8 total. And then this one has been optioned with the $475 spray in bed liner. It looks great. Spray in bed liner is definitely worth it, in my personal opinion. Now, when we come down to our rear bumper, you may be able to tell that it is an accent color to the red, and that is because it is the gloss black corner step bumper. I love the corner step. Makes it easy to grab something out of the bed if you needed to, rather than, you know, step it on that. It just gives you a nice little bit more surface area, I guess you could say, to reach either on this side, on that side, and then also in the middle as well. 4 parking sensors back here. A couple things I wanted to mention is that for 2025, the advanced trailer package is now standard. So with that back here, at least, you get the 2-inch receiver as well as the 4-pin connector and the 7-pin connector beneath that. There's your 2-inch receiver hitch. You also get an integrated trailer brake controller in the interior as well. For 2025, again, the advanced trailering package comes standard, so you also, as standard, get an auto locking rear differential. The Trail Boss gets a 2-speed transfer case, meaning that you have 4-wheel drive high and 4-wheel drive low, and the transfer case also does get a skid plate. You also get a 342 rear axle ratio, and this is very, very capable. So if you have a boat, a side-by-side, maybe a drag car, this gets a max tow capacity of 7,700 pounds. Very capable. That 7,700 pound tow capacity is the same amount of capacity as you would get with a Tahoe RST. So, you know, you're getting a little bit smaller of a vehicle, though this one is still wide with the widened stance. But you get that 4-cylinder, pretty much the same fuel economy, honestly, as the V8 Tahoe. But this thing is actually super peppy. It's got great power, low end and on the top end as well. I have not done a tow test with this. There are other tow tests on YouTube that you can go and check out, but very capable little truck for the off-road and then also towing wise. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 2.7 liter Turbo Max 4-cylinder that produces 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in roughly 7 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 17 miles per gallon in the city, 21 miles per gallon on the highway for 19 miles per gallon combined with 4-wheel drive. If you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button and then also leave a comment in the comment section down below. Those 3 things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that's what helps me grow. Not only do I post review videos, I also do vlog style videos and build series on my channel with a couple of my personal cars like a Corvette Z06, cammed Camaro SS, and a 1974 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. And I'm also LS swapping an F-150. So if any of those things pique your interest, hit that subscribe button and then follow me on Instagram and TikTok at 703speed for behind the scenes stuff about the channel, and then also a couple other little videos that I don't post on YouTube. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, you do not get keyless access. So in order to open up or get into the interior, you either have to press the unlock button or you take the physical key out of the key fob, stick it in that keyhole, and that is another way that you can unlock the vehicle. This is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black with the black bow tie and some chrome accenting. And going over the functions on it, you have your unlock and your lock functions, your panic function, and with the Trail Boss Convenience Package 2, you get remote start. All you got to do to remote start this is click this button twice and she'll fire right up. And that is what the Turbo Max sounds like being fired up from the exterior's perspective. And here's a look at the interior. So again, this one being optioned with the Trail Boss Convenience Package 2. You get the jet black Evotex upholstery. It's kind of like a synthetic leather, whereas otherwise you would get cloth. Taking a look at the door panel, it's mostly satin black plastic. You get a kind of padded armrest, power side view mirror controls, automatic up and down driver window. All the other windows are automatic down only. You get a speaker spots you could set a pen or two, and a water bottle holder. Here's a look at these front seats. Again, with the Trail Boss Convenience Package 2, you get an 8-way power driver seat with 2-way power lumbar. That package also gives you heated front seats and a heated steering wheel. All right, now we're gonna step into the interior, push to start, and now we're gonna have full access here into our digital gauge cluster and the infotainment system. So over here, you can see you have your defroster there and your defroster there. You also get a HVAC vent. This is to brighten and or dim your backlit buttons. And again, with the now advanced trailering package as standard, you get an integrated trailer brake controller down here. Now, let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like here on the Colorado. Not only is this your turn signal control stock, it is also your high beam control stock and your windshield wiper control stock. If you wanted to do a quick wipe, all you gotta do, hit this gently, you get a quick wipe. But if you press and hold, that is how you wash your front windshield. Now zooming back out, you get this Evotex, I believe it is, wrapped steering wheel. It didn't specify, all it said was wrapped steering wheel that you get with the convenience package 2. It feels nice. And then also with the technology package, you get adaptive cruise control. So here is adaptive cruise control. However, if you did not opt for the technology package, you now get cruise control as standard, whereas on last year's model, you would not get cruise control as standard. So that's just a nice little thing. And then, like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. Let's take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like here on the Trail Boss. And then on the back side of the steering wheel, on the left side, you have your tuning controls. And on the back side of the right-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your volume controls. As mentioned, with the Trail Boss Convenience Package 2, you get the heated steering wheel. You get one level of adjustability with that. And then this is to speak to the vehicle. If you press and hold on that and you are connected to CarPlay, that will pop open Siri. And then pushing up, that's to pick up on a phone call. Push down, that's to hang up on a phone call. And then you have these controls here. So if I click this, that's gonna pop up my audio sources. So I can click down like this, and I go to USB. Or I click down, so basically this is to control the screen here. But this is your 11-inch digital gauge cluster. So this is one of the layouts that you have here on screen. You can see you have your temperature, you have the odometer, some media stuff here, coolant temperature gauge, tachometer, digital speedometer readout, transmission status stuff. You have your fuel gauge, you have your transfer case status stuff, your fuel range, trip 1 and trip 2 information, letting you know who's buckled and who is not buckled. Clicking on this is going to switch that display. So now you get this kind of looking display. Then you have your Google Map display. Then you have your off-road stuff that shows you pitch and roll, transmission temperature, compass, oil. I believe that's oil temperature right there. And then click that one more time, and it brings you to this screen, which now you have your driver assistance stuff there at the center, calm screen, and then it brings us back into the screen we were originally on. Now, coming over to this other screen, this is an 11.3-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. You have your shortcut buttons here on the left. You may have noticed that you don't get a physical headlight control stock, but you see that light right there. You click on that light, and then boom, you can turn your headlights off. Headlights automatic. Then you have your parking lights, and then you have your headlights. Clicking on this brings you into more in-depth controls like automatic high beam on or off. You can turn your rear parking sensor beep beep beeps off by clicking that. And then you get your traction control, 360 cam. That's how you lock out the power windows. Hill descent control, you can click see more controls. You can go into doors and locks. You can go into your lights like your cargo lights, high beams, headlights. And then you also have your drive and your park stuff here as well. Again, you have your kind of split screen view right here. Then you have your home button here. That's going to bring you into your media stuff, your navigation screen, your phone screen, and up top there, I just walked you through those controls. Clicking down, this is kind of like your notification screen. Then you get your temperature and your time. Now, one thing is that with the Trail Boss Convenience Package 2, you get a wireless charging pad. I'm going to put my phone in the wireless charging pad and pay attention to what happens right here. So you can see that lightning bolt popped up. That is letting you know that a phone is charging in the wireless charging pad. That is an iPhone Pro Max, bigger phone, and it does fit in the wireless charging pad. And then, you know, you got your Alexa. You can pop up your 360-degree view camera system by clicking clicking on that button there. You got your different camera views you can go throughout and blah, blah, blah. And then you can pop up your climate control stuff here on the screen if that is what you wanted to do. That is what that screen looks like there. Swiping over to here, you get your built-in Wi-Fi hotspot on this thing. You get your off-road pages, which with this being a Trail Boss, we can go into. So this is your Baja screen. Then you got your terrain screen. Then you got your overlanding screen. So a couple cool different layouts there. And then you get your air down mode, My Chevrolet, set service appointments, podcast, etc. Very easy to use screen. Now, one thing I really do like about GM products is that they still retain the physical climate control stack. So you can see you get your fan speed, you get everything here. Heated front seats, again, Trail Boss convenience package 2. You get the 3 levels of adjustability with those heated front seats. Then you also get the little readouts here on your control knobs, which is also nice to see. One thing that was like Ford, with their F-150 Platinums and all their F-150s, they got rid of the readout here because it was costing them money to put the readout. So now there's no more readout on Fords, even their Platinum models. Anyway, push button, start button, 2 HVAC vents. That is to turn auto stop start on or off. The hazard button, lane keeping button, USB-A port, USB-C port, wireless charging pad with the convenience package 2. And as mentioned, this being a Trail Boss, you get 4 high, 4 low, 4 automatic, and 2 high. This is your drive mode selector, so if you twist this to the left, you have your different drive modes. So you got your off-road mode, you got your tow haul mode, you have your terrain mode, you have your off-road mode. So off-road mode, normal mode, terrain mode, and tow haul mode. So I'm gonna leave it in normal for right now. Electronic parking brake, if you wanted to disengage that, you do have to push your foot against the brake, push against that, and the parking brake will disengage. Then you get 2 cup holders down here. One thing that's kind of cool is that in between the 2 cup holders, you got a spot that you could set your phone. I think that's always a nice little thing that I like to point out. Then you get a padded armrest. Opening up the armrest, you get this divider here, and you also, I believe, get a 12-volt power outlet right in here. So if you have a radar detector or something like that, you can set that down in there. Decent amount of storage space. Then you do not get a lockable glove box. You get a decent amount of storage space in the glove box. And you get 4 HVAC vents on the dash. Got your rear view mirror. It is not auto dimming. This is like your dome lights, so you can click that and it's going to turn on all the interior dome lights. When this is flush, like it's kind of flat, when you open up the doors, the interior lights will turn on, and if you click it to the left, when you open up the doors, the interior lights will not turn on. You can also turn these front lights on. I guess you cannot turn them on individually. This is going to let you know if the passenger airbag is on or off, and then you have your OnStar stuff, like your roadside assistance there. Opening this up, you get a vanity mirror, no vanity light, and when you open this up, it does not slide in and out. So, interesting. Let's see on this side, only vanity mirror, and that one also does not slide. I would say that these front seats are comfortable. I am comfortable in them, being 5'9", 150 pounds, very comfortable seats, so I fit here very nicely. I'm also going to be adjusted behind myself, so I'm in my comfortable driving position right now. So you'll see me sitting behind myself in the rear in a minute. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at the couple options that this vehicle has. Take a look at everything that you get as standard. I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. The MSRP of the way that this particular 2025 Colorado Trail Boss is spec'd is $45,740. I mean, this car basically has all the features that you need on a vehicle and more. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have a sunroof, it doesn't have an auto-dimming mirror, but it does have a 360-degree view camera system. It's got a perky engine, comfortable seats, heated front seats, heated wheel. And one thing that I really like about sitting in the driver's seat is take a look at that like cowl type hood right here. It looks super, super aggressive when you're driving it down the road. I mean, it goes like this. It just looks absolutely awesome. So I'm a fan of that. But I do want to show you what we got going on in the rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So door panel back here looks rather basic. Again, you get the automatic down windows, and the windows go all the way down. You also get a little bit of storage space down in there. You could set a water bottle. I'm gonna slide this over to here, and I believe you pull up on this thing here. You can pull up on these seats, and then you get a little bit of storage space for your jumper cables. You have your jack right there, and etc. So that is what that looks like. If you wanted to drop it, you pull up on that again, seats will drop. You do not get a center fold down armrest back here, but you do get a no poop handle. You do get a dome light. You also get a no poop handle there as well. You get 2 cup holders, a spot you could set a phone. You have your HVAC vents back here. You don't get seat back pockets behind either the driver or the passenger seat. And again, me being 5'9", you can see knee and leg room, knee and leg room. And when it comes to headroom, I have a few inches of headroom left over. So I can even be comfortable on a road trip in the back seat of this thing. I could go for 5 hours back here and I think it'd be totally fine if I was sitting behind somebody who's 5'9". If I was sitting behind somebody who's 6'3", I don't know how far they have their seat back, but you know, it might be a little bit more tight. But I mean, if you got kids or you even have like teenagers, I think they'll be totally fine here in the rear seats as long as they're not like 6'5". And then also one thing that's interesting is that this is a manual sliding rear window. It is not a power sliding rear window. I would like to see a power sliding rear window in the 2026 model because manual sliding, you know, we're not in 2007, it's now 2025. So that's really one of my only gripes with this thing. But we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we talked about what's going on here in the interior of this thing. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. Hear that turbo whistle? It never picks up on camera until you drive one of these things in person. And when you hear that turbo whistle, it's actually really fun to drive. So about last year when these things first came out, I was driving around and I had my window down and I heard one of these things pull up next to me, and they were just, you know, subtly accelerating up to the speed limit, and the turbo was so loud. I was like, that is awesome. Now, it's not really obnoxious from the interior's perspective, but you can definitely hear it from the outside. And if you're a car enthusiast or even a truck person, and you're kind of skeptical about, you know, getting a 4-cylinder truck, I don't think you really have anything to complain about. I mean, it's really just not that bad. It sounds good, it's powerful, and I personally really like it. And I'm total like diehard V8 person, love myself some V8s, but this thing is actually a very fun driving experience. I personally really like the way that they drive. I think they go over bumps very well, even though they have like an off-road suspension. They still drive around town very, very nicely, and I always praise GM for their suspensions because they just do a great job with them. We'll let this car go. I do wish this thing did have some LED headlights and taillights, but you know, to save a little bit of money, you got to do what you got to do. Here's a little acceleration. Just a regular acceleration. Now, one thing I do notice about these Colorados and Canyons, and they all seem to do it, they have a little noise in the steering wheel, which you'll hear it. I'm going to try to come to a complete stop at the stop sign, which is what you're supposed to do legally, by the way. But just take a listen, because I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, but I can hear it here in person. So here, just take a listen to it. All right, it didn't pick up on camera that time, of course, because, you know, whenever you try to point something out, it never does. That's just the way that it goes when making videos and stuff. But it does make a little bit of a kind of noise, subtle, but you can hear it when you do a little turning. So just something that you should know about. I'm going to do a nice little acceleration here onto the highway so you guys can kind of get an idea of how quick this thing is. So I'm going to turn out onto the highway here and just kind of give it the beans. Goes very well over bumps, so here you go. See that? Got sideways. I mean, it truly is quick. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but it laid some wheels there, which is pretty funny. I mean, it spun and it got sideways. So it is very powerful, guys. It truly is. Take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at 65. Very quiet here You know, even though it's got some aggressive looking tires, they're still not really obnoxious on the highway. Now when they, you know, start to get towards the end of their life, they might get a little bit louder, but as you can tell, they're not too obnoxious just driving around on the highway and stuff. So just a very nice truck. You know, it's not super fancy here on the interior, but again, this is the Trail Boss. This isn't the ZR2. If you want to spend more money, you want to get a nicer interior, you can. And you can take a look at the ZR2. You're going to get definitely some nicer, you know, quality touch points on the interior. You're going to get a nicer seat. You're going to get a nicer looking dash. And you're going to get a nicer looking front end as well. But if you're looking for a truck, you're not trying to spend too much money, you want it to be able to off-road, you know, this is a great offering because it's very similar to the ZR2. Yes, the ZR2's got a better suspension, but I mean, how often are you really going to be maxing out the suspension? Unless you're somebody who off-roads, you know, all the time, you're not really going to notice, you know, day-to-day driving that much of a difference between the ZR2 and the Trail Boss here. I mean, just in day-to-day traffic, you know, but obviously when you're off-road, you're going to notice a difference. Anyway, I think the ZR2 has like the DSSV dampers, which really makes a big difference on ride on off-road, and it's a little bit more capable, but this is good enough. You know, if you're going to be doing occasional off-roading, not every weekend, not every day, but you're going to be using this as a daily, this is a great alternative. You're not going to be spending too much money. And honestly, I think I could get this thing sideways and it could drift, just based off of that little acceleration that I did back there. I mean, it's really got really good low end torque, and I would be interested to see how this thing does towing. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. As mentioned, I don't only do review videos, I also have a build series going with my Corvette Z06. I got a cammed Camaro SS and a 1974 Volkswagen Karmann Ghia, as well as an LS swapped F-150 project that is a few years in the making. So if you guys are interested in watching me fail on a long-term project, well, then you want to hit that subscribe button, and you also should follow me on Instagram and TikTok at 703speed. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.